Hello, hello. Once people trickle in, I want to hear a hello or a hi in the chat just so I know who's here. We'll get started in a few. We'll just wait for other people to trickle in. Yay, hello, hello. I'm going to wait for a few more people to trickle in. I don't know how accurate the counter is, but I don't know how many people are in yet. Um, in the meantime, I'd like to hear how people are doing. How's Global Hack Week going for you? What's the sitch? I see a few more people have come in. Hello, hello. I was just asking how Global Hack Week share is going for everyone while waiting for a few more people to come in. Hello, hello, hello. Maybe I'll get started in a minute. But I'd love to hear more about other people and how their Global Hack Week is going. Oh, Lion, hello again. Awesome to see familiar faces. But yeah, maybe it's time for me to get started. In the meantime, I'll start a little slow so that um, the week is going very awesome and productive. We love to hear it. Um, you've participated in the challenge. Oh yeah, if you guys have any highlights from your challenges, we'd love to hear it. Um, in the meantime, first step for today's Code Along With Me session, I'll try to make this as interactive as possible. So if you can, how will I give this link? I can post it in the chat. This is the data set that I will be using for today's data visualizations. Um, there. It'll spam all three channels, but that's okay. Cool. So this is the link that you'll be using or that you can use for your data visualizations. If you want to use a different data set that you find more like usable, that's totally cool too. My choice of data set is number one because I'm in the city, so I trust that the data is, I don't know, I trust the data. Number two, this is one of the, it's large enough that you can do stuff with it with 316,000 rows. But it's not big enough that it'll take some time to load because I made a very horrible mistake of choosing a data set that had 28 million rows, and it took over 20 minutes to load just one JSON. So, not a fun experience, but it's okay. So, we'll start with a smaller data set. We'll go baby steps. Indeed, it was a sheesh. Um, But yeah, okay. So let me know when people have the data set loaded up. Actually, you don't have to, we can just export it. Okay, so the way that I'll be doing the data visualization, so we don't have to do it locally, we don't have to set up, we don't have to download anything. So we'll be using Python and Google Colab. So colab.research.google.com is the website. And let's just make a new notebook. Um, type in the chat if you're following along, or if you need more time, I'll look very diligently at the chat to know where people are headed. But yeah, we'll call it so. New York City restaurant inspection results. That's what I'll call my notebook, just so I remember. Um, the first step we'd be doing is importing all of the stuff that we need. So if people are familiar with pandas, NumPy, matplotlib, Seaborn, and something that isn't as common, but I'm gonna try to use anyway today is Folium. I'll type those in. I kind of prepared a little bit, but halfway through we're gonna do things without me copying code from my own code so that it's really interactive. But yeah, so what I'm doing right now is importing pandas, numpy, folium, a folium plugin, seaborn, and matplotlib. um, if anyone has any questions about how I'm doing that, why I'm doing that, etc., I would be happy to explain things. For these two, this is setting an option for pandas, PD pandas right there, um, because usually they truncate, they shorten the number of rows or columns that you see if it's a large data set. And I wanted to see everything, so I made an option to display the maximum number of columns and the maximum number of rows. Yes, so Seaborn is a data visualization tool, kind of like if you're familiar with JavaScript D3 or Plotly, something like that. And one cool thing about them that I should have thought of is that it comes with data sets. I should have thought of that. So Seaborn comes with data sets pre-built into Seaborn, so you can just load a data set right from Seaborn. Ooh, zoom in. Okay, will do. Is that better? I'll take that as a yes. Look, you can see my corgi. That's a cool thing you can do with Google Colab. You can add a couple of cats or dogs to run around while you code. But yeah, so we have that is Seaborn, and then Folium is specifically for maps. So if you want to plot like geographical data, Folium is very good for that. So yeah, so we have these. I'll import everything. I'll do everything. Um, maybe I can. Let's see. Seaborn latitude. Let's see if they have a data set that has latitude and longitude. If not, then we'll continue with the restaurant data set. But I just want to see if there's an easier way for us to do this. Um, let's see. Nope. Well, cool. So we have that. We have the restaurant. Hello, Adam. Hello, hello. I know you're like very active in the MLH server, but I haven't had the chance to really say hello. So hello. Um, but yes, okay, cool. So now what we're doing is loading the data set. What I did for this is export and then right click CSV and copy link address. You could download it, but I wanted to save space. So what I'm gonna do is load that in, and now that that's played, I'll write a new cell and say df is equal to pd read CSV and then the link. Oops, and then the link. And then just because I know to prepare for the dog walking across the screen. Yep, we have two corgis. Awesome. Um, just because I know that I want to try mapping out or like drawing a map from this data set, that is precisely why I chose this data set, just so I could map things up. Folium is a little bit fun for me. The link to the data set, right? I will copy just the data set, so you don't have to go to NYC Open Data. And I will paste, so this is what you'll put in your code directly. Whee! Cool. So that's it for everyone. I will pin it again until I get to the bottom of my screen. So we have our data set ready. Next, I was going to do is drop all of the null values within latitude and longitude so that my map is pristine df drop NA, and then I'll say subset is equal to latitude and longitude. Oh yeah, that's a that's a power level thing. If you go to the bottom, the more you type in, the more your combo is. Google Colab is unnecessarily like trying to be fun. Longitude. Cool. Okay, my combo is over. So what if we use Canva for data visualization? That is possible. Canva is super duper pretty. You can totally do that. However, one downside to Canva is it's not meant for data. It's meant for like graphics, and it's meant for like posters, slides, stuff like that. So you won't be able to automate the data visualization. Like you can't just say later on, plot all of these 100,000 rows and put them in this box plot, for example. You'd have to make it somewhere else and then translate it into Canva. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it. So you can, I won't stop you, but I don't think it's the best idea, especially with the 300,000 size data set. Even more so if you tried using that 28 million one I tried. So we are at dropping the null values, and then just so I know what I'm working with, I'll say length of data frame. And then it'll take a few seconds. It'll even tell you how many seconds it takes to do something right here, and how much resources it's using. So we'll wait a little bit for that. In the meantime, you can check this out, and you can see in the, I forgot to mention earlier, but in the page where you got the data set, you can see what columns are available. We'll see it as well. I'll show it to you in code, but if you want to peruse the descriptions of the columns, you can do that here. Let's see if it finished. Cool. So we have 315,631 rows. From there, what I can do is create a new cell just so I don't have to reload every time. So the reason why I'm doing different cells is so that, for example, if I run this code, I don't have to re-import everything. So I'm doing like separate cells. If people are unfamiliar with, Colab notebooks, or like using notebooks in general to do data stuff, let me know. I'll explain them. But in the meantime, I want to say df head to see the first few rows of my data set. And then we'll see here, the first one is the McDonald's. I find that funny. Bazaar, Sabor Andino, Daddy's Cafe, Popeyes. So I'll zoom out a little bit, but I hope you'll still be able to read it. But the reason why I did that is so that you can see, if I zoom in, if I scroll this way, these are all the columns that you have available. Inspection date, violation code, grade, date, inspection type, and then this is the part that I care about the most personally, the latitude and the longitude, because I want to map this out because it looks pretty if you map it out. And it's like not a very, like, you can have box plots, you can have pie charts, which we will also do, but you can't always make maps. So I like making maps when I can. So this is our head. Next up, we will, just so we know what columns we have to play with, I will make one line that just says df.columns.toList. So I see a list of all the columns that are available to me. So that's all of them. I don't know what camis means, so I'm gonna look at, it's a unique identifier. Okay, so we don't care that much. Thank you to Nathan. That's the check-in link. Make sure you check in before anything else, or not before anything else, but yeah, make sure you check in so that you can get those points. Okay, so we have our columns, and then we're turning it into a list so we can see everything that we can work with. The first thing that I thought of was a pie chart, because the borough is like the neighborhood in New York City. There are 5 boroughs, and you could create a pie chart that shows how many of each restaurant belongs to Manhattan, how many belongs to the Bronx, how many belongs in Brooklyn. And that is like it's a good first step. So the goal of the data visualizations that I'm doing right now is to explore. So this is exploratory analysis. I am seeing what I can do with the data, what the data is, what kind of patterns I can see from my own eyes. And then later, time permitting, we're going to try out some data science instead of just data visualizations, where we do models like linear regressions or anything else. Although I don't know how viable that would be for this particular data set, since I looked a little late and there aren't a lot of numbers available. They're mostly plain text, and you can't really model plain text. So we'll try. We'll get there when we get there. Let's see. Oh yes, we are doing the boroughs, and then we'll do a pie chart. And in order to do that, okay, so just so you can see, df dot borrow. I think that's how you do it. Unique. No, I think it's this way. Unique. I want to see the unique values. So we have Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, and Queens. Cool. And then from there, what we can do, so pie chart. The way to do a pie chart is you need what the labels are going to be, what the size of each label is going to be, and I think that's about it. So let's say we make something pie chart. I'm just labeling it pie chart. Oh, I gotta zoom back in for the people in the back. So we have pie chart here, and then again, oh, I can do this. Labels, borough unique. So that's all my labels. And then what I did was I manually counted each of the 5 boroughs. If anyone has any, so this is what I originally did. This is what I originally did, which might not be the best thing. So if anyone has any better ideas, I would love to hear them. Unique shows every unique value in that column. So just in that column is what unique does. I don't know if you remove borough, maybe it'll show the whole data frame, but I doubt that's like something that's useful. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so this is the way that I did the value count. All this does is like for this column, count the values that are equal to this value. And I made one for each of the 5 boroughs. There might be a better way of doing this. I can't remember off the top of my head. So if there are any other data scientists in the audience, I would love to hear it. But in the meantime, that is what I will do. And then I will say that sizes is equal to all of those. So Manhattan count, let's see. I just want to see what order the boroughs are in. I might have made a mistake. Okay, so Manhattan, and then Brooklyn count, and then Bronx count, and then Staten Island, and then Queens. Okay, the combo is starting to irk me. I'm gonna ignore that. So this is how you do the power level. And then corgi mode, or if you want kitty mode. Next time cats are gonna show up there. So we have the sizes, we are good there. Next up, we have figure 1, and then axis 1 is equal to plot subplots. So this PLT refers to matplotlib. So that's what we're using to make our first plot. So we have there. Next up we have, now we're gonna make the pie chart. So the line 8 just says this is a plot. And now we're giving the details of the plot in line 9. So we have pie chart, and then size is sizes, and then labels is equal to labels. Yeah, up here I have labels. And then if you want to add anything, if you want the labels to be on the pie chart themselves, those cats are cute. This is the first time I'm seeing them. That is cool. Okay, sorry, sidetracked. Um, this is so that you can show the label right on the pie chart, and this says up to make it a percentage of up to 2 decimal places is what this part is saying. And then we have finally ax1 dot axis is equal. This line, I've been told, just makes it so it's a perfect circle as opposed to something that's a little skewed because of the size of the counts. So if I do this, ax1, I should get a pie chart. Let's find out. Awesome, awesome. So we have here 38% of the restaurants that have been checked are from Manhattan, 24.72 from Brooklyn, etc. for Queens, Staten, and Bronx. Is everyone good so far? Does anyone have any questions so far? In the meantime, I'll take a water break. Silence means we're good to go to continue. Or does anyone need more time or more questions? Okay, I hear a yes. Thank you. MVP audience out here. Lion, thank you. So now that we're there, does the next thing I was gonna do was map the score, but I'd love to hear from the audience. So these are our columns. Which one do you want to explore? Which one do you want to learn more about? Which one do you want to see if there's a pattern going? I'll zoom it in for people to see. Oops. Yeah. So these are the columns that we have. I'd love to hear if anyone has anything that they want to try out. Otherwise, I'll pick maybe score or grade. We'll see. Violation code. Okay. Let's see what the violation code looks like. So it's plain text. And let's see what the unique value. First of all, yes. Okay. Let's try DF violation code and then unique. Same thing we did earlier. Let's find out what the unique values of violation code are. That's a lot. Do we know what we can do with it? Because there's no like, okay, so that's something that we learned. We learned that violation code is a text, is plain text, and there doesn't seem to be any patterns that come from it. So it's not very graphable or chartable or plottable. Plottable. What do the list of codes mean? What do the list of codes mean? So here, it's the violation code associated with an establishment inspection. So what they are referring to, so like 22A is one kind of violation, 9A is a different kind of violation, 20D is a different kind of violation. I don't know the specifics, but I just know that they're violation codes, like specific things that the restaurant did wrong. Let's see. The next one I'm gonna try is score. Let's see if so. This time I'm gonna use a different graphing tool, so we switch things up a bit. So now we're gonna do box plots. Box plot is the one you'll see when I do the box plot. So now we're using Seaborn. SNS up here, we have Seaborn. And what I'm gonna do is say box plot concerning if this data is accurate. This data is super accurate. It's straight from the government, and what that means there are 316,000 violations in the span of, I think this started in 2015 until 2022. So that's a lot of time to have violations, and there are 8 million people in New York City, so that's a lot of restaurants. So it's not that bad. But yeah, okay, so we're going to box plot, and then this Seaborn is a little bit friendlier. It doesn't have a lot of, like, you know how we did a lot of stuff here? No, not that much. But yeah, Seaborn is a little bit easier to work with. So my x axis is going to be what borough it is, and then my y value is going to be what the score is. And then my data is equal to the data frame that I initially said. Now let's try plotting this box plot. Awesome. Okay. So what we have here is that the averages are all around 20. So I Googled this, and it looks like the restaurants are like from 0 to 13 is an A, which is the cleanest, most best sanitary inspection kind of score. 14 to 27 is a B, 28 or more is a C. Now, the data set that we have, they're mostly between 0 to 20, and then there are a bunch of outliers. So the dots, the lines outside of these colored parts are the outliers. And yeah, some people have really bad scores. These restaurants need to step up. But it looks like Staten Island has one of the lowest scores, so their highest is an 80. So I guess they have the cleanest restaurants and the most sanitary, safe ones. And then one of the worst ones I see at 160 would be Brooklyn. Cool. So we learned something there. Um, let's try. I think inspection date was that what it was I was the next thing. Oh, okay. So I had an error when I tried the Folium. Let's try if it works this time, and then we can debug together. So I'll explain first, and then I will show after. So what we have here is folium.map. So same thing as before. You choose the pattern is you choose what library you want to use. Don't eat out in Brooklyn. I can't say anything. I'm from Manhattan. So map is the kind of plot that you want to plot, and then width, height, how big your graph wants to be. Location, I just picked somewhere that is somewhat in the middle of the city. Called it the location so that every time I zoom in or out, it comes from the center of the city. And then tiles, the default is OpenStreetMap. It unfortunately cannot look pretty like Google Maps. So this open source OpenStreetMap is the next closest thing. And then Zoom Start just like is how close to the street you want to be. Tooltip is what will show up when you hover over our map icons. Let's see. And then what I'm doing here, this is a little I guess intermediate. Df.apply. So this is like apply a function to my data frame. And then lambda just means unnamed. I think it's called an anonymous function, where for every row in the folium, create a marker such that the location is the latitude and the longitude from that row. The pop-up is what grade is in that row. And then icon is, how can I, do you mean the code that I'm writing right now? or something else? Because if you want, I can share the collab notebook and then everyone can like write at the same time. I would to note down the codes. Okay. How about I do this? Change with anyone with the link, copy link, and then bam. Everyone has the notes. Or everyone has the code now. If anyone else asks, I'll re. So right now it's at view only, but if you guys want to like hop in and do the coding with me, I will change that to edit access and we'll all be good. Awesome. Cool. So this part is the tiny little fun part that I like, where you can customize the icon any way you wish, color, icon, prefix, etc. And then what this is saying is this apply function, this lambda, will be added to M being your Folium Map. So let's see. Let's hope this works. Whee! Here. So this is the same one that I saw earlier. Latitude. Latitude exists in my data set, but it says there's a key error. Am I misspelling it? Watch this be a random misspell. It is not. And I think I remember how to spell. So it's not that. So what could it be? This is an exercise on Googling error messages. So key error Python pandas. I have seen this error before apparently. Try some when we try to access some column or row label in our data frame that doesn't exist, which means maybe if I change this probably will not change anything, but we will try. Welp, not it either, but I know that the error is in this line. Hmm. Let's find another way to plot it. So let's try Folium marker icons. I think it's called a corp. No, it's not a corp. Map. Okay, documentation. Always the best thing to look at. So Folium. No. Map. That's what I want. We see. Let's see. Marker. Pop-up. Tooltip. Let's see. This looks like a little more promising. Okay, so this is what the map that this is open source, no, OpenStreetMap. So this is what it looks like, and you zoom in and you see like the literal streets. So it's very detailed, but not the prettiest thing. What I'm trying to do is so location, it's there. This is what I'm trying to do. Have markers for every restaurant is what I'm trying to do. I remember I searched this. So if anyone wants to help while I debug, I would love that. Here, they're manually doing each marker, but we don't have time to do that for 300,000 items. So map multiple locations, Folium. Try that. Multiple map points using Folium. Folium marker. Okay. Progress. We see you. Um, wait, at I? So I should loop it? Let's find out. So I'm gonna, so for I in, no, I am having multilingual confusion. How do you, for I in range, I remember, for I in range, len of df. Um, and then what we were doing was, oh no, I can't do that. Folium.marker add to m. So that's what we're doing. Um, and then we can say df at longitude at I. I think that works. And then let's try this. Will that work? That, I think that works. Okay, let's try that. And then df latitude. Oh, latitude at I. Okay. Progress. And then df pop up is df dot score. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have C++ in school, and I kind of, I don't know. It happens in my brain. Less detailed. So do you guys want me to tone it down first, or I'm a little worried. Do you want me to continue this, or should I try a little um something like, oh, Seaborn Petals dataset. Oh, okay. Just the folium is complicated, but I will tone it down after this example. I just want to show this. Um, let's see. It's df dot longitude at I. So that is the syntax that I am looking for. I did that. ef dot latitude at I, and then this is dot grade at I, add to m, and then we got this. Dang, has no attribute grade. Um, is it because they're capitalized? It is capitalized. So that's a thing with data science. If so, one of the things that deterred me a little bit from data science is a lot a lot of the time that you're spending with the data is cleaning the data. Like if there are null values, or if the capitalization is a little wonky, you have to clean that up. And then sometimes you have to have two data sets, you have to put them together, and then you have to join them based on a certain column that they have in common. It's a little daunting to me. But that's why what we're trying out is preset data sets where everything has been cleaned up for us, but I guess it wasn't completely cleaned up. um, so that's why the capitalization still bugged me. um, Oh, okay. So we'll go on a little tangent. So testing data and training data is a little different from what I mean, because testing and training data is machine learning stuff, or like data science machine learning stuff, um, where you have the training set that you are using your model on, and then once you're finally ready to check if it's a viable like model, you go to your test set. Whereas what I mean is, it's just like very tedious cleaning. When I first did data science, I didn't know about all of the methods. Plus, this was like 2017. Maybe not all the methods existed yet, but I manually cleaned data sets in Excel, which was not the funnest thing to do in an internship. But that is one aspect of data science that is worth like thinking about. Sheesh, exactly. Some of my stories are a bit sheeshy. But yeah. Anywho, carrying on. Data frame. Let's try with capitalized grade. Float. I saw this before. Float object has no attribute get name. So we'll just do this. Folium. What is it saying that's wrong? I see. It's syntactical. Pop up is equal to folium dot pop up. Is that what it said earlier? Folium dot pop up is equal to, wait, parentheses? Parentheses. Df grade. Let's try this again. Almost there. Key error 502. It's not even telling me what's wrong this time. Another Google. You got this. Access index. Oh, I know what might be going on. So if you have null values, um, it messes up any, not any, most of the graphs that you could possibly make gets messed up by null values. So remember earlier I like dropped latitude and longitude NAs. Now I'm gonna do that for grade. And then do it again. 3156. I think we had, let's see. Let's wait a few seconds. How's everyone doing with the data set so far, or like with the session? Everyone good? Oh, that lowered our data set by half. So now we only have 158,000, which means, let's try this again. It'll mean less icons. Key error 2. What is that? General default value for all keys, but this is for a dictionary. That isn't what I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's see. If no in blah, key error 2. So it's the same as before where we're accessing something that isn't there. But I already made sure that grade, latitude, and longitude have no NAs, which means something else is bugging out. Also, I think it's supposed to be latitude then longitude. That probably won't change anything, but we'll try. Still same thing, key error 2. This is a lot of debugging. Welcome to the realities of coding. Her. We got this. Folium marker, DF latitude, DF longitude pop-up, folium pop-up, DF grade, add to M. And then we have key error 2. Maybe the second row has something wrong with it. Let's look at DF head again. Let's look at grade. So grades are there. They're there. And then latitude and longitude are there. They're good. So I wonder, does the order really make a difference? So for the latitude and longitude, it matters in the sense that like if you switch up latitude and longitude, it's basically replacing switching up the x and y axis. So instead of your point being here, it's all the way over here. So that's why it does make a difference. But in this case, it made a difference, but it's not solving the specific problem that we have. So we need to solve a problem. Part of me wants to move on. Okay, by 50, at 50, I'm going to move on and I'm going to try a different data set that I can map. What else could this be? What else could this be? Key error. Is Folium not imported right? No, that's not it. Key error 2. Key error 2. Let's keep looking through this is also a dictionary, so I don't think it's what I need. So you're telling me that 2 is the key that it's looking for. No one knows the answer. It's always scary when you have, not scary, but like worrisome if you have a key error, a stack overflow question that isn't answered. Let's see. I see. Okay, so there is a 2 out there that doesn't exist. But I'm not using 2. There is a 2 that doesn't exist. I'm gonna, you know what? You know what? I just want to show that it works. So I'm going to borrow the data manually. This is not the best thing in the world, but I just want to show what I was trying to show. So let's say that's our latitude, that's our longitude, and our grade is A. Okay, this will work. Bruh. Pop-up is equal to pop-up, folium, dot pop-up A. It worked earlier. Oh, I'm missing another parentheses. That's what I'm missing. Nope, not it either. Okay, friends, I'm going to show I'm going to cheat a little, show you what Folium looks like, and then move on from Folium. I used to like it, now I don't. I just want to show you what Folium looks like. Let's see if it loads. I have too many collab notebooks running. It should be the project proposal that I had. Cool. So what I did was this is what it's supposed to look like. Do you see how cool that looks? At least to me that looks cool. So this is all of the phone calls that have been made to 311, which is like the non-emergency 911. And like you can have different phone calls, different stuff. And this is what I thought would be a cool data visualization. But yeah. So that didn't work out, but today we learned. So yeah, so this is what Folium does. You can zoom in, zoom out and stuff. Oh well. Let's try. Oh yeah, I was then looking into Seaborn and looking at what data sets they have available. Um let's see. Seaborn load dataset. Mm, so let's go to this and choose a data set. Does anything feel um, particularly interesting to people? Brain networks, car crashes, taxis, tips, penguins. What's in penguins? Bill length, flipper length. This is a little small, but it works. Oh, okay. Okay. We're gonna try out penguins. Um, and we are going to say, okay, new penguin is equal to SNS load dataset. Oh, that auto, did you see that autocomplete? That is so cool. And what dataset are we using today? Penguins.csv. Len of penguin, and let's see if that works. Penguins is not defined. Oh, I need to wrap it, I think. This is not working out very well, but it says penguins.csv does not exist. It's in this repo. Let's try a different one maybe. Iris is like a solid one because it's overused plus it's tried and true. So let's try iris.csv. Hopefully it works. We got this, you guys. Am I using it wrong? Get dataset names. Let's try this. SNS get dataset names. And then let's try iris is equal to what? Did I typo penguins? No. Okay, there we go. SNS, load dataset, iris.csv. Let's try that way, and then let's try that way. It's not one of the example datasets. We're Googling. Okay. Okay. That's not it. Does anyone have any? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so that's a hint. Maybe Colab is the one that's being buggy. That could be a thing. That could be a theory. It doesn't make sense exactly, and I feel like this is it's okay. This is the perfect time to make mistakes because we have people to help us fix those mistakes. It's totally okay. We are good. Let's try um maybe a Kaggle dataset. We we this is kind of the perfect example because data science, data visualization, the worst part is finding the right data set. So you guys are seeing that firsthand. Let's see. Let's pick a small and safe Kaggle data set. Well, that's angry. Superstore, maybe? 4 gigabytes, 6 gigabytes. Oh, this one is solid. I've seen this one. This is solid. Um, and then we could stick right in with the Kaggle notebook. Let's try this. Yeah, it's a classic ML model. So it is impossible for me to mess this up. Watch me mess it up anyway. Kaggle input. Kaggle is a little slower than Colab though. But I just want to make sure that I show everyone what I need to show. Wow. It's already maxed out the CPU for importing? Dude. Kapow. Let's see. Wait, how do I... This is read, I think it's read CSV. I'm just gonna guess. Read CSV or certified bra moment. Yeah, this is a bra moment. We got this though. This is. Let's try running it. I'm a little sick of error messages at this point. Maybe I just. This is likely not it. Nope, not it. Um, Maybe if I download it and then do it locally. And then, and then, yeah, but then I'd have to mount my drive. No, no. Let's see. This is this is not very optimistic, friends, but I can't give up. Hmm. Okay. Drive, my drive, Colab notebooks. Which one of these datasets can I use? Ah, I already have housing.csv loaded up. Nice. Yep, I already have housing.csv. Um, Housing is equal to read CSV PD. Awesome. Okay, we are getting somewhere. And then housing.head. Let's try. Okay. Never gonna give you up. Since this is a little more common, like a data set that's more common, I should have probably worked with this. What does anyone have any suggestions on what we should plot? And or does anyone have a specific plot that they want us to try out? Like if you want box plots, let's look at Seaborn's whatchamacallit, gallery. Is there anything here that we can try out? Does anyone want to? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, we could. Um, there's that one graph where like it makes a scatter plot of every column and row together. Point plot seemed pretty cool too. I will try that right after. Um, so that makes one scatter plot, but I mean, I think this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Scatter plot matrix. SNS pair plot. That seems pretty straightforward. Let's make a new cell. SNS pair plot housing. Thank you for the moral support, friends. Let's see. Progress, progress, progress. We got this. Takes a little bit of time, maybe because I don't know how big housing CSV is. How many columns do we have? 20,000. Okay. Solid, solid, solid. Awesome. Okay, guys, I did something. That's it. I'm done. I'm kidding. But this is one example of a pair plot. So what this is doing, if we zoom in all the way, it's plotting every single. Oh, that's kind of cool because so this is the California data set, right? And if you plot the latitude and the longitude, it's the shape of California. I don't know. That was a tiny little tidbit that I thought was cool. So we have the total rooms versus let's try total bedrooms. And what is this one? Total rooms. So for example, we can see that there is a linear correlation between how many rooms and how many bedrooms there are, because that kind of seems pretty straightforward. Another thing that's worth noting, let's see, what is this one? This is total rooms. No, that's the one that I said, total rooms and total bedrooms. Let's look at this. This is, a lot of them are like all over the place, quite literally. Median income and what is this? Median house value. So this one's pretty interesting. We have median income versus median house value, which there are a bunch of outliers, but another thing is median. This is median house value versus households. So it's not that there are price versus bedroom. Let's see. Total bedrooms, median house value is right here. So median house value times total rooms, No, bedrooms. Okay. So what we have here is that it's not that there are more rooms the higher the value of the house. Probably because we have houses that are right by the bay, and then that will make it more impressive. Not impressive, sorry. Yeah, it's right by the way, more impressive, more expensive. Expensive is the word that I'm looking for. Okay, so we have that. We have accomplished one solid data. No, two, because including my pie chart. Three. We have accomplished three in the span of an hour. We got this, you guys. We got this. Let's see what other graphs. Someone said joint plot earlier, so let's go back to the gallery and let's try out joint plot. That looks pretty cool. Hex bin plot with marginal distributions. Whee! I'm trying to process what this means. Joint plot. So, okay, we can do this. So let's try exactly what Goog said, which was price versus bedroom, price versus area. Let's try bedroom first. Going back to our data set, or I mean our notebook, we have x is equal to what's our data set called? Housing at, we said median house value. Yes. And then housing at total number of bedrooms. Let's try this out. I'm excited. I've never tried this before. Cool. So what this is saying is that the median house value is usually either between 100 to 200, and then there are outliers that go all the way to 500,000. Can you imagine? That's, yeah. And then the total number of bedrooms is, I guess the axes messes it up a little. How and where did learn all these as you may have noticed in our, like, in just the span of this hour, Google has become my best friend. I Googled a lot just now. Um, but also, I started, the first internship I ever did was data science, where I had Stack Overflow for the win. Exactly. But yeah, my first internship was data science, and my task was to, this sounds a little cool, but I had to based on brain metabolite data, which is like the level of brain chemicals you have in your brain at a given time. This is done through an MRI, same machine as an MRI, but instead of taking a picture, it takes the chemical levels. So based on those brain chemical levels, what kind of multiple sclerosis does a patient have? So I thought it was kind of a cool project to work on. It was my first ever science computer science project, so it wasn't like, it was an uphill battle of like a learning curve, but it was a good learning experience, and that's where I got a lot of my data science knowledge from. Cool. End of story. Let's try something else. Let's go back to our wonderful gallery, and let's see if anyone else has any suggestions on what kind of graph we want to do. File and plot looks cool. Or swarm plot, maybe? Or residual plot? Facet grid? Hmm. The cat walking to and fro is here with us through. Saw my struggles and didn't bother to help. What a cat. What does this all mean? Goody Grace. I'm Googling it. I don't know this. I will listen to this later. This sounds like an interesting song recommendation. Cool. So, going back, I will randomly choose a graph, and we are going to choose, and then we're going to try it out. I like Seaborn. Seaborn is pretty easy to use. Light G, inner points. Orient H. Oh, this is pretty easy. So, a lot of what I'm doing is going through documentation. Let's see. Data is housing. Let's try it out. Well, that wasn't very pretty. That was not very pretty at all. That's because the house value is like on a different scale. That's why. Hmm. Let's try what other so we have pandas, we have numpy, we have folium, we have seaborn, we have matplotlib. Let's try matplotlib gallery. There's another examples, and then you can check out what kind of data visualization stuff you can do. Matplotlib is kind of more, I would say, more serious. So do you see what it looks like in comparison to Seaborn? Price versus area. Where's the cheapest place in California? That would be, what kind of graph do you think would be best? Like, not trying to be pretty, but what is the graph that would show actually, Actually, please tell me this data set has latitude and longitude. Because then I can do my folium. And then we can see, just a simple XY. Okay, cool. Line graph, maybe, because I don't think it's going to be a bar chart. Okay, line plot, SNS, line plot. Location is equal to DF latitude. No, we're talking about housing now. Housing, and I think it's called latitude, longitude, and latitude. Housing, longitude. There we go. That could be enough. I did not show what I wanted it to show. Line plot. What do we need? I forgot to say what data set it is, I guess. No. Oh, you want a scatter plot. Okay. Now Goop wants a scatter plot. So let's try a scatter plot. Scatter. Ooh, scatter plot heat map. That looks a little. We just want the simple one. We just want a simple one. Oh, there it is. Cool. And then we're going to see SNS scatter plot. I think is what it's asking for. Where was I? Data X and Y. Data is equal to housing. X is equal to, we said median house value. And then Y is equal to, you said area, latitude and longitude. No, because okay, I was just following along without thinking about it, but price versus area would have to be mapped out, because if you make if it's a simple XY, if it's a line graph, you can't really show like where exactly. And it's not like you can do per neighborhood, because it doesn't say what neighborhood it is, just like how close it is to the ocean. But if we want to do latitude and longitude, so I'm going to try something just to show what a scatter plot looks like. I'm going to say total rooms. Let's try this. So based on the median house value, we have this. Next up, to answer the price versus area, I am going to attempt Folium one more time. This will be my penultimate. No. I think this will be my best achievement if I can get this Folium to work. All the best. I'm weak. Let's see. I'm gonna try this method. So for length of housing, and then housing, and then we don't care about a pop-up anymore. So that's one less problem to problem. Oh, let's try this. Oh, I didn't say M. But that is promising. There were no errors. Oh, shoot. If it loads, the location is going to be in New York instead of in California. But we're going to try it because this is very... File Trust Notebook. Oh, we're good. Okay, so that's the New York map, right? We're gonna fix it after I show that this works. Why do I have a lag? Whee. Okay, so we're gonna zoom all the way out. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I think we're good. Are we good, friends? Yeah, frame speed dropping. Okay. I think we're good now. The lag went away. But the thing is no longer responding, so I'm going to close all my other things just so I don't do the frame drop again. I do have like 3-4 windows open, so that might be my fault. Cool. So let's look at San Francisco coordinates. So north would be latitude, I think. Oops. Latitude. And then this would be longitude. Let's try again. That looks like the South China Sea. That does not look like California. We're just going to zoom out. Yeah, we are in China. Oh, maybe it's backwards. Let's try it backwards, guys. Y'all. I know I'm not supposed to say that. Let's try this. Or yeah, that's it. It says it's done. Watch me be in a different part of the world. Hello. Data visualization is visualizing data. No. Creating graphs or plots or maps based on a data set that you're given is data visualization. So A sneak peek of what we've accomplished so far. We have this scatter plot. We have, wow, they're not loading. My computer, this is stress testing my computer, guys. Not guys. So we have this violin plot that doesn't look too helpful. We have this joint plot. We have this very helpful pair plot, which is like all of the axes against other axes. Um, and then we tried this at a different data set and this at a different data set. And now we are mapping it out. It says file and then trust notebook. It's still in the ocean. Nice. Nathan always has the Wikipedia answers. The cat is moving, which means, okay, let's try Zoom start 1. Maybe 1 is the zoomiest, the zoomist. Okay, 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 okay. We're getting there. Maybe if I make the map smaller next time. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. So, dang. This is, at least Folium is working this time. Facts. This is progress. This is horrible progress, but it's progress. Folium is lagging. Okay, let me close other windows. Let's close Discord. Let's close. This Google Sheet is probably the thing that's killing me. Google Docs, Google Sheets always, always, always takes up too much of you. Okay. I have 4 Google Docs. That might be killing my CPU. Whee. Cool. Do we have progress? I don't want to exit it. I want to exit this. I have 4 collab notebooks. I do not have 4 collab notebooks. You're friends. I had 4 collab notebooks open. It's a big whoops. Let's try this again. This usually takes 15 seconds. Bet. We wait a little bit, it loads a little bit, and then we move it a little bit. This is not optimistic, friends. Folium is working, but we cannot see where Folium worked. Oh, okay. So what this will show is just the markers, just the little pins. Okay, okay, okay. I understand. We're exiting you. We are reloading you. So what that line of code was gonna do is just the maps or just the markers. But what we're looking for Goob is the is comparing the price with the area. So one thing we could do is change the colors of the markers to match the price range. Why is it still unresponsive? I have a whole PC. I'm not on a laptop. Maybe if I close VS Code? It's not like I'm doing my project anyway. Maybe if I close this other one. Maybe if I close Slack. I closed everything. This is the most technical difficulties I've ever done in front of like other human beings. Okay, we see the markers. We see the markers. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to attempt to do in our last 30 minutes. Um let's figure out together how we can make the I know. Okay, let's check my it's Control Alt Delete, right? Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, Chrome is eating it up. But it's only 56% CPU and 87% memory. It's not like the worst thing in the world. I would hope so. But Teams is also in the background. Yeah, Chrome is eating it up. That's. Oh, I'm streaming and coding. StreamYard is taking it up. Okay, so going back, our goal. Let's see if I'm still lagging. I think I'm still lagging. Okay, there we go. So the goal right now is to change the colors of the markers to what range of prices they have. Out here suggesting Microsoft Edge. Okay. Let's try. How did I do the colors again earlier? Um icon. That's why. Okay, so longitude is negative 122. Earlier it was 122 west. I see. If it's west, it's negative. It makes sense. That's where I made a mistake. But I learned from my mistake, and that is what matters. Let's try 5, and let's try running it again. Gonna take 15 seconds. Almost there. Oh, it's taking a little longer this time. Maybe because I'm adding icons. This is a whole mood. Okay, execution successful. Next load, I'm gonna do it 500. I don't think we're gonna need that yet. Okay, let's do this. We got this, friends. We got this. I just want to show this one. I just want to show this one thing, and then I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna the end it. Mm, let's try removing this and then running it again. It is pure pain at this point. You are absolutely right. But if I'm not giving up, you're not giving up. This is an exercise on persistence, friends. This is actually a lesson cuz like I got my internship for the summer because I was persistent, not because I did not know how to traverse trees at the time, and I spent like 40 minutes trying to traverse a tree. And that persistence was what got me the internship, not like my general knowledge of the actual material. So we are Gucci. We got this. It'll load and we will show a California map. I am out. Yep, I am. This is the last thing I'm going to do. If it loads, I will call it. If it doesn't, I will also call it because we're at an hour and a half and I've accomplished very little. But that is okay. Like I said, persistence is um is the skill here. Will it load? Will it not? I'm giving it a few more. Thank you. I'm trying. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah. But I wanted to show Goob the prices thing. Aw. I was gonna do it for Goob. Is this what streamers feel like? Okay. Okay. It finished right there. Yo, word. Yes. I was this morning I was going through LinkedIn and that was um that's the 15 minutes of fame of people and socials that I think Goop is talking about. But we see this, it's almost there. We just gotta I just gotta push my computer just a little bit more. Okay, cool. We got this, friends. A little bit more. Maybe if I get rid of the cat. No, but the cat is there for moral support. The mouse is not like changing. So honestly, oh shoot. Okay, that's too many houses. But it is in the shape of California, which means we are making progress. um Laughing at your failures is also a skill. It's okay. But we did make progress. This is I will probably finish this in my own time and put it in the Global Hack Week share chat if I succeed. Yep, that's California. That's the entirety of California. Woohoo! We made progress. I'm sorry, friends. I thank you for putting up with my many bugs, and I appreciate you. Ooh, look at that! It's still going. No, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you for like sticking through to the end. Um, I'm sorry that it didn't turn out as well as I had hoped, but I appreciate you all and your moral support anyway. I'm gonna call it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna give up on this data viz, and I will wish y'all a great morning, afternoon, and evening. Bye, friends.